President Trump heading to Camp David as the GOP announces it has the votes to pass tax reform.
We have a tremendous spirit for the tax reform. This is going to be one of the great gifts to the middle-income people of this country that they've ever gotten for Christmas.
He said tax reform will allow the U.S. to take its economy to a whole other level.
We are back. We're really going to start to rock.
A massive wildfire is getting bigger. It is now the third largest wildfire on record in California.
U.S. immigration rules have been based on an outdated system known as chain migration. The current system is totally incompatible with national security.
A lawyer for the Trump presidential transition team is accusing Robert Mueller and his team of inappropriately obtaining private documents as part of its Russia probe.
The fix was in against Donald Trump from the beginning, and they were pro-Hillary.
President Trump won in spite of the Republican establishment being against him, the Democrats being against him. Still, he prevailed. To me, that's the real story here.
Small town, but it is a throwdown.
Ed wants his.
Yesterday we were with Katy Perry. Yeah, what's the deal?
You know, we put in orders before the show starts, and Ed was like,
for coffee,
I want oatmeal. And I said, is my grandpa here?
Oh, he just you just threw down.
I did.
You're going to pay for that later in the show. I'm not telling you when.
It's because you guys had the biscuits and
but
chicken.
You're telling the truth.
From Chick-fil-A yesterday.
Yeah, you got to balance it out with oatmeal.
You put a little brown sugar
Rachel.
in your oatmeal, and it's good. Yeah. But I can't remember the last person that ordered oatmeal.
Other than your grandpa?
I make oatmeal all the time.
Really?
See, Rachel's got my back. This is going to be a great show.
It's going to be a great show.
Put
Rachel
down the
Campbell's stuffing with us. I wish we had more Chick-fil-A today. And Ed Henry, always.
Good to see you.
Fantastic. The best journalist in the business,
yeah, right.
Of course. But we've got a lot of news this morning, right to a Fox News exclusive this morning. A potential bombshell over the special counsel's Russia probe.
A lawyer for the president's transition team now accusing Robert Mueller's team of improperly obtaining documents.
Peter Ducey is live from Washington with the details. Peter?
Good morning. So for the last few months, lawyers for the Trump transition team have been sifting through emails to and from 13 top transition officials, including Michael Flynn, separating the ones, keeping the ones that they think are privileged as they waited for the special counsel's office to call and ask for relevant messages to their probe. But as it turns out, Mueller got those messages himself on September 1st by going straight to the server at the General Services Administration, which Trump's team sees as a violation of their Fourth Amendment protections against unlawful search and seizure. Now, Trump transition lawyers are telling Fox this. In short, since the GSA improperly provided them to the special counsel's office, the PTT, Presidential Transition Team's privileged materials have not only been reviewed privately by the special counsel's office without notification to Trump for America, they have also been misused publicly. But the special counsel's office is defending the way they got these emails, telling BuzzFeed, quote, when we have obtained emails in the course of our ongoing criminal investigation, we have secured either the account owner's consent or appropriate criminal process. President Trump himself, not known to be an emailer, but his inner circle sent tens of thousands of messages between the election and the inauguration, and those are the ones the special counsel obtained without telling them. Back to you in New York.
Thanks, Peter.
Peter, thanks a lot. I mean, it's one of those instances where you know the Trump team feels like the process has been rigged against them.
Right.
And if you feel like these emails have been obtained not through the normal process, why were they obtained that way as opposed to the way they should be?
I think we should back up just a little bit and let people understand what the GSA is. I mean, the General Services Administration is what the government uses to help you transition, because you only have like 2 months, is it less than 2 months?
How you get office space and phones.
Right, and so they have access to all your information, and if you want to get that information, you have to go through the proper procedures, which Mueller decided not to do, and it's not the GSA's information to give without having gone through that
But
proper
I think Mueller's team might say, and we're going to hear a lot more in the days ahead, that they did go through the right channels. They called the GSA and said, can we get these documents, and they turned them over. That may have been proper. The Trump team may not like it, and it may have been sort of a little bit underhanded in the sense of why not tell the Trump team, hey, I'm going to go get these emails. It does seem because in talking to the Trump legal team in recent days, they have felt, at least before this, that the Mueller team was keeping them in the loop, letting them know who's being subpoenaed, who's being talked to, who are the witnesses in this case, so that everybody has a fair shake. If all of a sudden the Mueller team said, we're telling you about this, but not about these other emails, they may have obtained them properly.
Sure.
But they may not have.
It feels a little bit underhanded, maybe.
Right. But you're a big privacy guy, right?
All the time.
Right. So you don't think these emails should be out there, right?
Well, I wouldn't. No, of course, if you have a special counsel and you're looking into something, you have the right to look at a lot of things, investigate,
like
no doubt.
Peter Strzok's text,
like
right?
Peter Strzok's
you want those
text.
out there, though, right?
I want anything that leads to the fact that this administration never colluded with Russia, of course, which we know.
So you think, okay.
So, but what we're going to hear this week in testimony, in front of...
Nice transition.
Unfortunately, behind closed doors...
When he's behind, he moves on.
That's right. Certainly, members of the special counsel or the former DOJ or FBI officials under the Obama administration will be testifying this week on Capitol Hill about what they knew and when they knew it, and how they've used it. So Bruce Orr, who we talked about yesterday extensively, will be talking to the Senate Intel Committee.
Top Justice Department official who, remember, got demoted about a week ago because he didn't fully disclose the fact that he had these contacts, not just with Fusion GPS and their co-founder, Glenn Simpson, involved in the dossier.
Before and after the election.
Correct. And also, Bruce Orr at the Justice Department met with Christopher Steele, the former British spy who put the dossier together. What was he up to, and why didn't he disclose that to justice?
And his wife, it turns out, worked for Fusion GPS. So there's a lot of conflict. And she was the Russia
expert for Fusion GPS. They only have 15 employees. I don't know. Was she doing it? Who knows? It all stinks to high heaven.
Now, Tuesday, Andrew McCabe, who's the deputy FBI director, will be going before the House Intelligence Committee, we think. I add that caveat because, remember, you see him there screen right. He was supposed to be testifying on the Hill in recent days and has had scheduling conflicts and all kinds of things to push that off. And some people think that's because he doesn't want to talk to Congress. Remember, McCabe, he's been in the middle of a lot of these stories.
Wait, you call him Andrew, but in text messages, he's known as Andy.
He's Andy.
Because there's, as it was referred to in Peter Strzok with his girlfriend, that there was
the insurance policy.
The insurance policy, should Trump win, what is our insurance policy to maybe muddy the waters, which a lot of people are calling into question.
Can we just look at what was said in the text messages? Do they have that? Can you guys put that up? Because I think it's really important. Well, they talk about an insurance policy. Basically, he says, I was in Andy's office, the conversation we had in Andy's office. I think, this plan could work, that basically Hillary gets elected. But if not, we have this insurance policy.
Yeah, no, I think
I mean, it sounds like a cabal there.
And
what are they cooking up?
And importantly, you mentioned Orr's wife getting paid by Fusion GPS. Remember, Andrew McCabe's wife was running for state senate in Virginia, got money from a PAC, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Terry McAuliffe, the current governor of Virginia, who's friends with Hillary Clinton, not just friends, key advisor to both Clintons. And that didn't have anything to do with any of this. It just suggests that people in the senior levels of the FBI and the Obama Justice Department had all kinds of ties that should be looked at.
If you're the president and you're seeing all these things connecting, all these Democrats, all these emails, all these potential plots that we need to get explained in some of these hearings this week, you got to feel like the system is rigged. You're absolutely
very much
right,
so.
Pete.
So, of course, Democrats, one Democrat specifically, Representative Jackie Speier, says, I don't know, plug in your phones, buy gold, because this weekend...
She says based on rumors.
Based on rumors, Trump's going to fire Bob Mueller, and we better be ready. Take a listen to this.
The rumor on the Hill when I left yesterday was that the president was going to make a significant speech at the end of next week, and on December 22nd, when we are out of D.C., he was going to fire Robert Mueller. I believe that the president wants all of this shut down. He wants to shut down these investigations, and he wants to fire Special Counsel Mueller.
Right. So that's one representative. I talked about buying gold. The reason is because Walt Schaub, a former Obama ethics czar, tweeted this as well about this weekend. He said, this weekend, I'm stocking up on portable phone chargers, warm clothes, and gear needed for when we take the streets.
I'm concerned
the assault on the rule of law is coming over the holidays when we are distracted. It'll be a defining moment for the Republic.
Unbelievable, because Ty Cobb, a top lawyer at the White House, put out a statement, among other things, saying, quote, Mueller will not be fired. So here you have one of the president's attorneys, a very well-respected Washington attorney, known to both parties, saying this is not happening with Mueller. And you have a Democrat who said what at the beginning of that? She said, the rumor is. I mean,
so this looks like fake news, Ed. In Washington, where does this come from? The hysteria, the rumor mill, because his lawyer's saying ain't gonna happen, but Democrats are saying.
I think she's just making it up to distract. I mean, they've been saying, first of all, that that Trump was gonna fire Bob Mueller since Bob Mueller became the special counsel, and it hasn't happened.
Well, and they're trying to set a narrative.
And frankly, if I was President Trump, I wouldn't fire him. Bob Mueller is discrediting himself. As more and more information comes out, I think the investigation is getting more and more discredited. Firing Bob Mueller right now, I don't think would be in the president's interest. It would simply look like he's stopping this investigation, when in fact, I think the investigation is going to shut itself down by its lack of credibility.
Ty Cobb and others in the president's legal team think that this investigation will be over in weeks. They could be wrong.
That's what the Dems are afraid of, by the way. They don't want it to end. They want this thing to continue so it can continue.
Go through the midterms.
Yes,
forever.
exactly.
Christian Bale is out there, by the way.
Oh, a celebrity. More celebrity.